And welcome back to episode 122 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my co-host, my point man and co-host, Malcolm Tackle for a Loss King.
Looks like you already got tackled for the loss. What's going on, Cliff?
Oh, shit, Coolin, how you feeling?
Man, I'm just glad it's the weekend, man.
Listen,
How you feeling, though?
with my hands.
Right. We here. Back for another one, right?
Right. I want to get into this quarterback ranking. So NFL.com dropped a quarterback ranking. A few shockers on it, if I must say so myself. First and foremost, if we're going in order, it's gonna be Tom Brady with the Bucks. 67.2% completion percentage, 5,916 yards passing, 46 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 81 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 5 fumbles.
All right.
Then we got Aaron Rodgers, right? We'll get into that later. We got Aaron Rodgers, 68.9% completion percentage, 4,340 yards passing, 37 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions, 101 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 4 fumbles. I'm not going to go through all of the stats for everybody in the top 10, but those are the two. Then we got Josh Allen at 3, which I understand, especially as he would be leading the top 10 in all quarterbacks really in rushing yards with 897 rushing, 6 rushing touchdowns, leads in both categories. Now he throws the worst passing percentage though at a 64.5 out of all these quarterbacks. Next we got Justin Herbert. He leads them all in fumbles. He only had 1 fumble this year, so he had the least leading in fumbles. And we got Matt Stafford at 5, who led in passing yards and passing touchdowns with 6,074 passing yards, 50 passing touchdowns. Joe Burrow is at 6, who leads with the best passing percentage at 69.9. He has the worst interception count with 16 on the year, and second worst rushing touchdowns, which is 2. Patty Mahomes is 7, Kyler Murray at 8, Dak Prescott at 9, and Derek Carr at 10 is how the list goes on. Now, I wanted to bring up the list, right, because, well, really, Brady is being at the top of the list. I wanted to ask the question of, do you think he deserves to be at the top of that list, or do you think that because what he's done over his career, we edge him out, giving him more credit? Like, almost like how they say you have to beat the champion to be the champion. You have to clearly beat them.
I always feel like, I don't know, Brady is one of a kind. So it's, but I feel like with his age, do you truly put him at, I'm not saying he's not top 3 still for sure, but I don't know if I put him at exactly number 1, because I feel like he has started to decline here and there in some parts of his game. But again, he's still Tom Brady. But I wouldn't put him number 1, though. I don't think.
All around, he does have great stats, and I'm not trying to hate by asking the question, right? I just asked the question because, who else could you really give it to when you really think about it, right? Like, I could see putting Aaron Rodgers up there, but he also only had 4,340 passing yards.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's awful, but it's, when you got people up there with 5 and 6,000.
It's not, yeah.
It was really only 3 people on the list that didn't throw 5,000, and that was Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, and Dak Prescott. Kyler Murray is the worst on the list with 3,924 passing yards, and he only threw for 24 passing touchdowns. Same with Carr. That was the worst in passing touchdowns. But Carr threw for 24 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. So more than half of your passes were picks. Or passing touchdowns, I mean. That ratio isn't right.
It don't add up. It doesn't look good.
Right. And you have 0 rushing touchdowns and 14 fumbles on top of that. That's the second most fumbles out of the list. Dak Prescott had the first with 15. It's crazy because after Kyler Murray, everyone's fumbles go down like to 5s and 4s and 9s. But Dak and Carr, for some reason, that's another question for me is I don't know that even with Carr reuniting with his best friend, if that gets it done for the Raiders either when you look at a quarterback that does that. Those are empty yards.
Right. Now, where do they have... Did you say Lamar Jackson was on the list as well? I don't remember.
Not in the top 10. He fell at 14, I believe.
So you have Derek Carr and Dak Prescott before Lamar Jackson?
I mean, but I would too.
Nah.
I would too.
That's a recently, not too far along or far away. Basically, what I'm trying to say is he was an MVP not too long ago.
But it's the same thing that I asked you about Brady. Why are we putting Lamar Jackson on the list off of potential? But what did he do in the season? He was hurt most of it.
Well, I mean, not to switch it up, but even LeBron, I understand he's older, but people get hurt. I mean, some people...
Right. But you can't be... You know how amazing you would have to be in the top 10 in quarterbacks for the year and still be hurt half the season?
Right.
You just can't do it. I don't care how good you are, you can't do that.
So they didn't put Deshaun Watson. This is for the upcoming season, right?
No, this is based on stats alone, statistics.
Okay.
And those players wouldn't make the list. Well, Deshaun wouldn't make the list because he didn't play at all. So you have no stats.
Right.
So he wouldn't even be on the list, really. I doubt that they would put him at 30. I would just put a disqualified or something next to his name or DMP because we don't know. He could be in the top 10. I would imagine he's going to be in the top 10.
Right.
But there's actually something we'll get into later in the show that will spark some more conversation about that.
Okay.
But yeah, Lamar wouldn't be in the top 10. He has the potential to be. I'm not hating on Lamar. It's just he didn't do enough last season to be there.
Right. He didn't. Not last season.
Right. And once again, to round it back, because I know there's a lot of people out there like you just hating on Brady, asking, if Brady deserves to be number 1. But when I look at the stats, right, like 46 touchdowns, excellent, right?
Right.
13 interceptions. That's not so good, though.
It's not.
That's not so good. You're 2 interceptions away. Well, you're 3 interceptions away from the high, matching the high with Burrows and Pat Mahomes with 16. You're 2 more away from Carr and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. You look at Aaron Rodgers who threw 4 interceptions. 37 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. Now, the only reason why I give him slack on the 37 touchdown passes and the 4,340 yards is because, once again, we know he only had 1 target.
Right.
So that's basically him doing those stats with a hand tied behind his back.
Right.
because
I could
they're
agree.
doubling, triple teaming Devontae, and you're back there trying to make something happen with not too much to do it. So I kind of feel like I wouldn't have been against putting Rodgers at number one for last season.
Yeah, because he almost won the MVP, right? It was no, he did. Sorry, he did win. Right, he did win. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I could agree with that. He won MVP this past season. So I mean, yeah, I think that to me that would qualify as the number one quarterback currently at the time at this time in the league. But
yeah. I think
you
there's
know,
some, what do they call it?
bias, like kind of
Right, like
subjectiveness.
nah, I mean bias definitely works, but I can't remember exactly what I'm talking about. Basically when like the old guard, the older want to hold on to something.
Mm,
And I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is a young guy. I'm saying that the old way for the past 15 years has been Tom Brady's the greatest. And people don't want
right,
to let that go. They don't want to believe that he is declining a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we're
losing
going
the.
to give him number one, even though he didn't win the MVP, because this is the old way and we're sticking to it.
It's hard to watch somebody fall from
But
greatness.
he's still not though. That's even so. It's still not. He's like. It's not like
It's not bad, but it's
he's not
it's
LL Cool J.
right,
LL Cool J was a rapper that when he got old, it was like, yeah, you probably don't need to be rapping no more. He couldn't
right,
keep up with the times.
right, right,
You know,
right.
Jay Z can be 50 and still put out a track, and you're like, damn, like he sound like he still belongs in the.
AZ knows how to adapt to each era that he's been a part of.
So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's like falling off. He's not. He's still clearly a top two quarterback in the NFL. I just don't know that he deserves number one.
Right. And I could agree. Like I said, I could definitely agree. I mean, I think it would have to go to Aaron Rodgers. I think he's been the man right now. Now, I don't know. A hunch is kind of giving me because Russell Wilson wasn't on that list, obviously, either, right?
He's another one with Lamar. You were hurt a lot. You don't have enough time to get the high enough stats in that little bit of time frame to be competing with 5,000-yard passers.
I think um, I think Russell in Denver this year, if he stays healthy with the offensive line, new team he's on, I think he could potentially be an MVP candidate for sure. I see him climbing back up the ranks in that.
Ooh, you listen. You touching on some subjects, so
Huh?
I'll give you a heads up before we get into it. So
Okay.
after we go over this little quarterback jump off, we gonna pick the out of the four majors that were drafted this year. Like we
Okay.
did last year, and
Okay.
then we gonna get into CBS's um 10 bold predictions for 2022-2023 season. And we
Mm.
gonna go through them to see if we agree or disagree. And I do believe that was one of the predictions, is that Russell Wilson is the MVP. But we're not gonna answer it right now.
Okay.
But that was one of them. But out of this rank, for the most part, I don't mind it.
Right.
Even though Matt Stafford is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, I do not feel like he did enough. Matter of fact, I'm tripping. Matt Stafford had 20 interceptions thrown.
20.
He had the worst. He had 50 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. He threw the most interceptions. Not out of
Damn.
all quarterbacks out of the top 10. I don't know, that might be out of all quarterbacks though. 20 of them
Right.
boys. That's a lot. But yeah, even though he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, I don't know that he deserves to be. I probably wouldn't put him at my 5 spot for real.
Nah,
I
yeah, I
would
don't know.
probably put Burrow above.
Yeah,
I would put Burrow above Stafford.
and remind me, was Burrow on the list you said or no?
Burrow was 6, right behind Stafford.
6, right behind Stafford.
I would flip that. I would put Joe at 5, Matt at 6. Because I do agree that after Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, it is Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. I agree with that. But I don't know if I agree with the 5 for Stafford. That's weird. I also
Right.
don't know how I feel about Kyler Murray being at 8 and he only threw for 24 touchdowns with 3,924 yards.
Yeah, that's I'm a little.
He did have 5 rushing touchdowns though, but I still think I might have switched him and Dak.
Right.
I might have put Dak at 8 and Kyler at 9. Dak threw almost 1,000 more yards than he did. He threw 14 more passing touchdowns than he did and threw 1 less interception.
Mm.
But other than that, I do think they damn near got it. But that was NFL.com, and they ain't trying to upset the powers that be. So Brady gets the 1 spot, and we'll figure it out from there.
Right.
But as far as college quarterbacks coming out this year, of course, we got, for my shower heads, we got Kenny Pickett drafted at 20th out of Pitt to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Out of Pitt to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hometown kid, they say.
Yeah.
We got Desmond Ridder, 74th pick out of Cincinnati, drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. We got Malik Willis, 86th pick out of Liberty, drafted to Tennessee Titans. Then we got Matt Corral, 94th pick out of Ole Miss, drafted to the Carolina Panthers. Now, before we get into our opinion on who will have the best rookie season, the one thing I do want to point out is that I do think that this year of asking that question is it's a little different, right? Because all of these quarterbacks actually have the opportunity to make an immediate impact with their teams.
Right.
Matt Corral definitely has a chance at beating out Sam Darnold for that starting position. You feel what I'm saying? Kenny Pickett definitely has a chance of beating out Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph for that starting position. Same with Malik Willis in Tennessee. Same with Desmond Ridder in Atlanta. So all of them have a shot, whether it be they start immediately or, not to speak anything into existence, we see injuries and somebody step in for one of the older quarterbacks. Or maybe Tannehill just doesn't cut it. He's not, he usually doesn't, if I'm being honest.
Right.
So maybe they want new legs in there. So yeah, I do think that that's interesting. Out of doing this the previous year, I think it's a lot more even. Like last year, we knew who was starting and we knew who wasn't.
Right.
We knew the Patriots needed Mac Jones to start. We knew he was going to have the most experience out of his rookie year.
He did. And it worked out well for him, obviously.
Right. Almost took him to the, well, I ain't going to say that. He ain't almost take nobody to no damn Super Bowl, let's be honest.
No.
But out of those 4, which do you feel like has the best rookie season?
So you said Malik, Kenny, Desmond,
and Matt Corral.
I don't even know Matt Corral.
Mm-hmm.
Where he go to?
Ole Miss.
Ah, shit. Ritter's the one in Atlanta.
Yeah. I guess
I
what
don't
the
know,
question
man.
comes down to, number one, is who you think has the opportunity to start fastest. Because usually whoever has the opportunity to start the fastest has the opportunity of getting the most stats.
Kenny. And the reason why I'm also say Kenny is I seen per NFL.com that Mike Tomlin said that Kenny Pickett definitely is, going to be. Basically, he said that he wouldn't mind if, let's say, Kenny Pickett ended up being a starter like week one, like he wouldn't be against it. Is what I'm saying. He's not
Right,
opposed
right.
to him as a rookie being a starter. And I think realistically, that's the best chance for these young quarterbacks is the spot that Kenny Pickett's in, being in Pittsburgh with, like you said, the Trubisky and the Mason Rudolph. By the way, Pittsburgh did draft another quarterback as well. I can't remember his name, but they did draft the quarterback after Pickett, not right after, but like sometime later on in the draft. They got another quarterback
Let
as
me
well.
look that up because I'm interested. I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like that's a sign of desperation.
Yep.
Like why? Like you have Mitch Trubisky, you have Mason Rudolph, then you have Kenny Pickett, and then you're gonna draft another rookie quarterback.
Right.
Like what are you? Why are you quarterback hoarding? Like
I think after the whole Dwayne Haskins situation, they realized, anything and everything could happen. So maybe rather have a little extra rather than not enough, so to speak.
but you're not gonna be able to keep all of them.
Oh, of course not. That's why you see who pans out. Well, of course, naturally, somebody. So let's be real. Out of the 4 quarterbacks that they have, at least somebody's getting cut during preseason. I'm pretty sure only 3 are going to stay. Right? Potentially, they could cut whoever and just still look around and try to find some other replacements if they can here and there. But realistically, I'm saying out of the 4 they have, we know someone during or after preseason is going to get cut.
I think
it'll probably be that other guy they drafted I told you about at quarterback.
I think you can only keep 2.
Well, but what if someone gets injured? You can't just only have one. You know what I mean? To me,
right? That's what I mean. You can only keep 2. I mean, I guess you could keep.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Rookie. If you have put it like this, what I'm saying is if you choose to start Kenny Pickett,
right,
you can't keep Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. You can't drop the rookie and keep the 2, because either one of those 2 quarterbacks still has to get paid. Whether it may not be a lot, it's enough.
Well, and I'm sure if they did start Kenny, then I'm sure they would look for a trade at that point, especially for like a Trubisky type quarterback. But yeah, I mean, I think Kenny, to answer your question, I think Kenny Pickett. You found him?
Chris Oladokin.
Yeah.
Out of South Dakota State.
Isn't that where good old Carson Wentz went?
Oh, is it?
South Dakota.
I didn't know that was what you was about to say. Is it? I don't know. You the fan.
Man, yeah, right. I'm pretty sure, though. Let me see. I'm going to look it up. What?
But while you do that, you said you going with Pickett then?
Yeah. Real. I'm just saying out of the potential. Yeah, Carson Wentz went to North Dakota State.
I mean, I don't know why it's vital information, but
no, I'm just saying, like those universities, like they don't really play nobody. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, right.
Those kind of guys don't seem to pan out too well.
Out of all of the quarterbacks here, I would give strength of schedule to Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral.
You said Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral?
Mm-hmm. Cincinnati had a very tough schedule. And Ole Miss, they play all of them not SEC teams. Is Ole Miss in the SEC? I think they may be.
Let me see something.
Not the SEC. No, it's not the SEC. What is it? Let me see. Damn. Yeah, they are in the SEC. That's what I thought. Yeah. So they're in the SEC and Cincinnati's in the ACC. Their schedule was tough. You know, Ole Miss is banging around there with them big boys and them fast motherfuckers. Or not the ACC. I'm tripping. The 8. We just looked it up the other day. But either way, strength of schedule goes to Ritter and Corral. Just the AC, the American Conference.
Mm.
So I don't give it to Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis when I think of strength of schedule. Now going to what you said, I do believe that Kenny Pickett, out of the three, most likely has the biggest potential of starting out the gate. But I gotta go with the guy I've been saying from the jump, Desmond Ritter, man. The pick out of Cincinnati to the Falcons. I think that Mariota is gonna put himself in a bad position. I do think that that's going to happen, and I do think that you end up seeing Desmond Ritter play a couple games, start a couple games this season.
Right.
And then I was looking through stats. This man is the third most winning quarterback in college football history.
Desmond Ritter?
Yeah, 44. He went 44-5 in his collegiate record, 26-0 at home. Never missed a home game.
And he went to what school?
Cincinnati.
I mean, I know that's a D1 school. How tough is their schedules typically?
Every year, not every year. It's not going to be the toughest. What I think happened is that they started making that turnaround. Whether you want to credit it to Luke Fickell, but he wasn't there the whole time. They started winning. Or was he? When did he get to? When did he start coaching Cincinnati? I can't even remember now.
I can look it up once I turn my phone back on.
But they started turning their program around, and I don't think that the conference was ready for the change that they made. Because remember, he started getting better recruits when he went over to Cincinnati, because schools were like, oh shit, the Ohio State quarterbacks there, or coaches there, let's go there.
Right.
So he did start getting better recruits. But regardless, I mean, that schedule, that record is something to me. A 4.49 40 said faster than Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, that record is nice. It's nice, but that's nice in college. This is the NFL we're talking about.
I agree.
So, like you said, these defensive ends are faster than they've ever been. These safeties, these corners, depending on who you're looking at, they're out here. Every team, well, not every, I don't want to say every team. My whole point is he could do well. It's like you said, time will tell. Time will just have to tell.
Well, what I will say, regardless, is what a record like 44-5 collegiately, 26-0 at home tells me is that you don't make too many bad decisions. Your decision making is at least intact with a record like that over your college career.
And then who's the coach in Atlanta? Who's the GM? How are they going to take care of him?
I'm not sure. I don't think they brought him there to take care of him.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, is he on a team and in a system that is going to help set him up for potential success in order
Well,
to guy?
look what Atlanta did with Matt Ryan.
Well, right, but he is, a dual threat Ritter, right? Like he can run, like we said, in
Right.
for saying. So Matt Ryan to me is one of those prime,
He's a
pocket.
pocket. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We ain't seen a guy like that in Atlanta since Vic, as far as a dual threat quarterback goes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I
They
don't
kind of
know.
shifted.
Yeah, I don't know who they have. Like, to your point, I don't know who they have in their front office. I can't even think of their coach offhand
All right,
at
let
the
me look
moment.
that up.
But at least what we can say is they do have history with dual threat quarterbacks. We can
Right.
definitely say that. And you went and drafted Mariota. What is Mariota? Or I said drafted. You traded for
Traded.
Mariota.
Yeah, he can.
That's a
He,
dual threat quarterback. Then you went into the draft and picked up another dual threat quarterback. So I would imagine they have something up their sleeve when it comes to that. Something in
right.
their plans to protect at least.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I just can't ignore those stats. And then when I saw him play the couple games that I did, I really thought he had it all. Like, that kid has it all. I think he has the potential of being one of the top names that you hear in the NFL.
He could. He definitely could. Let me see who QB is. I mean, sorry, head coach
Uh
QB.
huh. I knew what you meant.
Damn. Wait, let me see real quick. But yeah, I mean, he definitely could. I mean, I wish him the best. Always rooting, especially for, these young black quarterbacks or players to succeed, I should say. But their head coach, it says Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith was named the 18th head coach in Atlanta Falcons history on January 15th, 2021, taking over the club after serving as the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator for the previous 2 seasons.
I'm not familiar with Arthur Smith.
Not familiar with him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, and again, we could be wrong. But what do you do under Arthur Smith?
But
You
like
know,
I said, they picked him for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And this is Arthur Smith. I'm sure Arthur Smith, their head coach, whoever he is not making the picks himself. They have to get clear, greenlit by people above him. So I'm sure that they wouldn't be going against what he felt comfortable with dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's set up to deal with a pocket passing quarterback, I highly doubt they would go out and get 2 dual threats on him.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the organization that's the direction that they're wanting to go in, which is why they picked up Marcus Mariota and then Desmond Ridder in the draft. So I don't really have a concern with them taking care of him, so to speak.
Right.
I'm just my biggest concern with at least making that prediction or opinion on him having the best season is how fast do we see him in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, obviously injuries will be a factor. Obviously, talent will be a factor as far as, does he just end up, outshining Marcus Mariota and wins a competition? But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think what really interests me is, like we said, though, the coach. We don't really know much about him. Who's the coordinators, like you said, front off, how do they really run that team, especially since Matt Ryan's gone, right? Because this is going to be like a different identity now with the team.
Right.
You got your young guns, right? Got your Calvin Ridley's. He's still on there, right? Calvin Ridley. Is he still on there?
I believe so.
You got Kenny Pitts, Calvin Ridley. You got Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and a newer coach. You got a newer look.
So.
Yeah, you get a newer look. I'll look it up. You got a newer look to this team, a newer identity.
And didn't they just get that I might not be thinking of Atlanta.
Yeah, he's still on
Yeah.
the. He's
Didn't they
still on.
just get the wide receiver from is it Notre Dame?
Let's see.
Damn, I can't even think of dude's name. That's gonna
Drake,
drive me
Drake,
crazy.
yep, Drake London. You're
Yep.
right.
Yep. That's tough. That's tough. I'm telling you, it's set up for Desmond Ritter to succeed. I think it's set up for a Marcus Mariota to succeed. I just think his play style is more bullheaded than finesse.
Yeah. I mean, Marcus Mariota, like I said, I just don't see him as being your guy based off what we know that's going to carry you through a playoffs. Not saying he couldn't take you to a playoffs potentially, at least a wild card, right? Not saying he couldn't potentially help get a team there, but I don't see him being, yeah, this is the guy.
He almost led Oregon to a national championship.
I mean, that's true. But
Who
once again,
did Oregon have back then?
Right. I mean, didn't they have that running back at Oregon? I don't remember who it was. Didn't they have running back?
I mean, I'm not saying that they didn't have anybody. I'm just saying that when it comes to the standouts, you remember them all on Ohio State and Alabama. But as far as Oregon goes, I don't remember too many names. But I do believe they did have a running back and they did have a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name either. It's so long ago.
And you got to think, Cliff, like I always knew, like I said, I mean, even the known universities like USC, I knew your boy back in 05, Matt Leinart. I knew he wasn't going to come into the NFL and do shit.
Well, you can see that with certain people.
I thought he was actually a good quarterback. Like, I really did think he was a good quarterback, though. Like, I thought he was a good quarterback in college. I thought him and Vince Young, that championship game, Cliff, that was a great. That was arguably one of the best college championship football games of all time, in my opinion. Well, at least one of the best.
It was at Tennessee and USC.
No, it was USC.
Texas.
Yeah,
Texas.
Yep.
I'm getting the jerseys confused.
Right, both orange, but yeah, man. The whole point. And Cliff, okay. All right, let me give you another one. Speaking of Desmond Ritter, whatever happened to our boy Vince Young? People really thought coming out of Texas,
he fell off.
He fell off.
I mean, he had a couple decent seasons. I think his first 2 seasons, if I remember correctly, and then he just fell off from there. Maybe 3.
I thought he had a couple good games, but I don't remember him having "quote unquote" a few good seasons.
I mean, not like people were talking about him to be the next something, but enough to where Tennessee was confident that was their guy.
Right. I just get concerned, like I said, if you brought Desmond Ritter into like I'll say no offense, an established head coach, meaning when I say that, I mean someone that's, had a lot, at least a good experience, or maybe a few. Basically, what I'm trying to say is a veteran head coach. Maybe, that would really help boost Ritter and his success. I just don't know, like I said, with this Arthur Smith guy, I get the weapons. I see what you're saying. Drake London looks great, right? Kyle Pitts looks great to have. Calvin Ridley. It all looks great, but it's like, who's going to lead these guys into the war? What's your general like?
I think Marcus is. I think Marcus is that guy, whether his capabilities or abilities can get it done. I think mentality-wise, he's exactly that guy that's going to lead them into war. And what I would hope for Desmond Ritter is that he gets to see some of that from Marcus and know what it takes to continue the legacy.
Right.
Because like I said, I do see Marcus Mariota putting himself in a bad situation. Whether, like I said before, I think last week or the week before, I said I can definitely see him taking too much punishment, rushing, running the ball, not sliding, leading head first, doing stuff like that. Like he's the type of quarterback that'll try to run you over if he thinks he, has a step on you. And nobody needs that.
Right.
Like I get the mentality, but nobody needs that at this level. We need to sustain you throughout the season.
Right.
Even with Josh Allen, even if you have the capability of running someone over out there, stop it. Stop. That's all I'm saying. Like, we know you can do it. We know you got heart. We know you got it in you. Stop. Just stop.
Right.
Because if you get hurt, what are we going to do then?
SOL.
Listen, it come down to that, and I'm not going. And I hate to use this term when I talk about a professional athlete, especially ones like Josh Allen or Marcus Mariota, because it doesn't really apply to them. But tendencies, it's that stat horse shit. You know what I'm saying? Where I just want the stat.
Right.
I want.
Shit.
Right, I want to be recognized for the stat, but it's an unnecessary stat. Nobody cares how many safeties or defensive backs you truck on the way to a first down as a quarterback.
Right.
Like, is it impressive? Yes, it is impressive. And do we enjoy seeing it? Yes. But from the standpoint of attempting to win a championship that you're so fucking close to, it makes no sense for you to do it.
Right. I agree.
And if you can't get that man to stop, here's an idea for you, Buffalo. Stop calling design fucking runs for your quarterback. Maybe do that.
Right. Set him up better for success.
Right. Maybe do that then. I've been saying that between him and Lamar Jackson, like I said before, they deserve half. Give me half of whatever the the third string running back is getting on our team, because you want me to be a quarterback and a running back.
Right.
I want full quarterback pay plus half of the third string salary on every game.
Right. I'm gonna need you to hook me up.
I will put that in my contract on the low. Like, if you call more than 6 design runs per game, this game I am to receive half of our third string running back salary.
Right.
Because I feel like when you do that to a quarterback, it's basically you saying you don't really mean much to me.
Right.
You know, if you get hurt, oh well. That's what it... it's a car. That's what it sounds like to me. What you looking at?
Articles on NFL.com.
Why, you got anything to say? Because we was about to transition anyway.
Well, if you want to talk about your Raiders for a second, Raiders announce Dan Ventrell no longer with organization. Former interim president alleges he was fired for reporting hostile work environment. This is as of May the 6th, 2022 per NFL.com. Following 18 years with the organization and 10 months as team president, Dan Ventrell is no longer with the Las Vegas Raiders. Owner Mark Davis announced Friday. Any thoughts? Any thoughts, Cliff?
I think that sounds funny. I think that sounds funny to me. Go ahead, though. What you go ahead with your question?
Just Cliff. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on you guys. I really, Cliff, I thought about it, Cliff.
You can't. You're in Philly. You can't.
I know I give you a tough time, Cliff, and I'll say you haven't even seen your team win since you've been alive, and I don't want to tell your age so much. But, in all seriousness, just why is there so much, chaos or drama that goes on with the Raiders for years, decades, I'm talking?
Because that's the team. That's the team style. That's the style of the team. You look at the fan and you say, makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The rebels. It's almost like the prisoners, quote unquote, are that's the squad. I don't know. Y'all are just
Raiders is the longest yard squad.
Yeah, damn near. I think we talked about that before on here too. It's just y'all always got some controversy, is all I'm saying. There's always some controversy within the Raiders. You can always count on it. If there's a silent season for the Raiders on and off the field, I would be shocked. Put it that way.
Maybe that's why I'm a fan, because I like being entertained.
You know what you did say? We talked about this offline. You did say you don't like it when things are calm, so to speak. You've kind of thrived better in the chaos of things.
Right.
So, I mean, like you said, the fan matches the team because they always got some shit going on. That's all I wanted to bring up because I had just seen it.
Yeah, that doesn't really affect me. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Right.
The assistant interim vice president announces after 18 years that it's a hostile. First of all, bitch, if you've been there for 18 years, how's the work environment hostile?
Right.
Because the motherfucker's son, Al Davis's son, ain't been there 18 years, motherfucker. You the OG in that bitch. If it's a hostile work environment, that's because you did something. You fucked something up. But there's no way, after 18 years, you being an OG in a building, somebody else steps in and makes it hostile for you.
Yeah,
you're the godfather at that point.
That could be the case. Well, you know what, Cliff? I know it's kind of more so in movies, and sometimes.
I thought I hear you.
Okay, but yeah. I mean, you know, to your point, it could be.
You said sometimes it's in movies.
It's in movies, and sometimes it's in ancient history to where like the successor, such as the son or one of the children, sometimes might be more
off the heads of the person who ruled before. Yeah, I definitely understand that.
And
my whole thing is, how long has he been in power?
Right.
Mark Davis.
Right. Let me see.
He's been in power long enough that if he wanted to lop your head off, it'd have happened 6-7 years ago, Jack.
Right.
So, how all of a sudden, after all this time, does your work environment become hostile? And even if it does, you've been there long enough that you were supposed to wedge your way in, that they can't get you out.
Right.
I feel like that's on you. That's once again why that doesn't really affect or bother me none whatsoever.
Right. Damn. Yeah, I mean, other than that, like I said, I've seen a couple other things. I mean, did you have anything you wanted to transition to? So
I just gonna jump into the CBS Timbo predictions.
Yeah, okay.
First one at the top of the list is what you said, Russell Wilson to win the 2022 MVP.
You know, I don't mean to be. I've always liked Russell. I'm not a fan of the Broncos or Seahawks. I just want to throw that out there. I've always been a fan of Russell. I like Russell. So I know it's early, but just knowing and seeing some of the dedication that he has, because he's always posting something, and just, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this should be a good season for him. Like, I feel like Russell may, get back to that top tier quarterback category that he should be a part of. Like I said, I hope he stays healthy. You're on a new team. You got some weapons. He's got some weapons, Cliff. Offensive got an offensive line, I'm pretty sure.
Definitely has weapons. I'm not going to stunt that. But he's also, like, just think about some of the edge rushers he has to go against in his division alone. Like, my squad, Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, the Chargers, Malik Mack, Joey Bosa. Like, you got some real live monsters that are coming after you in your own division. And we all know, schedule-wise, you will play more of your own division than anyone else.
Right. Now, the good news for Russell Wilson, though, he's already used to that. Coming from the division that he came from, the records that he held for getting sacked the most. Remember, he was getting... Right.
Well, wait. Because those are two different statements that you're making there. Getting sacked the most and getting sacked by people like Chandler Jones, Khalil Mack, and Joey Bosa are two different things. You may have gotten sacked so many times in Seattle that now you're a little used to it, but it's completely different when you're getting sacked by someone of a caliber of an Aaron Donald on a nightly basis. Because you got to think, since we're in the same and I'm not saying on any means that Chandler Jones or Max Crosby is an Aaron Donald. But those two are dangerous men, just like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Those are the number 2 and 3 edge rushes in the league.
Well,
So well, just to finish my thought, what I'm getting at is you may play the Raiders twice, you may play the Chargers twice, you may play the Chiefs twice, and the Chiefs got a decent defensive line too. Not on comparison to the other two, but it's not awful. But what I'm saying is that's a nightly basis. That's a weekly basis thing. There's a chance that you play back-to-back division games.
Right.
And what's that going to be like coming out of a game where you had to face a Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, and going in next week to face Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack?
Right.
That's where it gets real tough. Now, I envision the MVP to be in a weaker conference where they have more room to wiggle. Now, if Russell wins the MVP coming out of this conference, maybe the toughest the AFC West has been in years.
Right.
That would be impressive. Because right now I'm looking elsewhere. I'm looking to the NFC for the MVP. Because you have the more cakewalk division.
Right.
Which leaves you more room to produce because, as we stated, you have more divisional games in your schedule than anything else. So if more of my games are against cakewalk teams, I get to put up better stats.
Right.
It's going to be hard for Russ, in my opinion. I don't agree with that.
It is going to be hard for Russ. And now that I think about it, I don't know. This might be Josh Allen's time to push through and get it. Wasn't he in the talks last year, Josh Allen?
Yeah, but he's still in the AFC too. So it's the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not be in the AFC West with us, but you're still in the AFC. So you're going to see a lot more of our teams than you do the NFC's teams, which means you're going to have a harder go of things with us on the AFC than an Aaron Rodgers would on the NFC.
Right.
Because he doesn't have to deal with that. The AFC is looking like thunder right now.
Right.
On all fronts.
I mean, AFC is scary right now. I mean, that's that's the team. I mean, that's the division right there. AFC has all the stars. That's like the Monstars right now.
That's why I don't see anybody out of the AFC getting the MVP. For that reason alone, it's going to be war on a nightly basis out there.
Right.
And I feel like somebody in a more comfortable environment has a better opportunity of wowing us all to an MVP. So I think the MVP stays in the NFC, in my opinion.
Right.
No, I'm not anybody, but in my opinion, that's where you see it.
So who do you think wins?
That's a good question.
Because that's my thing. It's like, who do you think was going to take it then?
I'm waiting to see. I'm honestly waiting to see what Green Bay has left up their sleeve.
So you're leaning potentially towards Aaron Rodgers again?
I think he already has the blueprint, and it's only getting easier for him. I only say easier, meaning the division is less and less competitive.
Right.
It's really only y'all and the Packers right now.
Right.
The Eagles and the Packers, in my opinion, are the only two dangerous teams over there right now.
What about Tampa Bay?
Now that Brady came back, I keep forgetting with a Brady, Tampa Bay is dangerous, yes.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay, Packers, Eagles, Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowgirls, I guess.
Those are the only, and I can't think of any
Vikings.
I can't think of any other team.
Vikings are tough, but
they're all right.
Kirk Cousins wouldn't win it. I meant them more as a team, not Kirk Cousins at all.
Well, that's the issue. Once you replace Kirk Cousins, they may be tough, but right now they're wishy-washy.
Right.
They're worth nothing more than fucking up your record.
Right.
But I don't expect them to do anything. I just expect you to fuck up somebody else's record. Get a couple unsuspecting wins on, but go to the Super Bowl or make it deep in the playoffs. Nah, Vikings ain't. They're not. I don't. So to wrap that one up, you agree, Russ, for the MVP?
I don't know so much now. I mean, I think it's definitely possible, but
I think
like
it's possible
said,
too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
it just depends on the schedule. Like you said, they're gonna have a lot of divisional games. Josh, I don't know. I guess I don't want to leave. I mean, I don't know. I can't
You
leave.
can't leave Josh Allen out, man. He is a beast, and he's the perfect person for the division, right? Because even defensive ends, edge rushers now, I'm sorry, have problems bringing him down.
Right.
So it's like, even though you get to me, it's not a guarantee you get me now. So don't think just because y'all running around this edge, I won't stiff arm y'all motherfucking ass and get my pass off.
Right.
When I saw him stiff arming defensive ends, he had one where they he was running away from the, running towards the sideline looking for his pass, and the defensive end couldn't do nothing but get a hold of his shoulder pads and was like trying to hang, and he just shrugged him off and kept running and threw the pass. And it looked like it was nothing, but to somebody who knows that situation, man, it's insane how strong he is. It's insane how strong Josh Allen is.
He ain't no punk. Josh Allen's a dog.
Yeah, I think I'm on the JA train for real.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I am on that JA train.
This might be his season. It's, wish we had, White Mike on here for his intake about this in particular. But
he corrected me last night on the show. It's Light Mike now. We know that. It's Light Mike. Light Mike. He's graduated. It's Light
Mike. Okay. Light Mike. All right. I like it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Cliff, I mean, I went with Russell Wilson, but when I really started to think about it, I don't know. That boy Josh Allen, man.
Hold up.
But I mean,
what up?
Yeah, I was going to say Patty Mahomes.
I'm on the podcast. Answer me this question. Do you think Russell Wilson wins the MVP this year? I mean, like we said, it's a chance, right? But you left Seattle and you're now in the toughest division that the NFL's seen in years. Does he still have it in the tank?
We'll see. It's definitely a test for him.
Listen. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. All right.
Who was that?
That was Blue.
Oh, what he said? No.
Oh man, damn! I can't get. I gotta find it. I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to set it up to where I can hook my phone up to the computer, and then I can pull the audio from my phone. But he was saying he doesn't see it. He said he thinks that it's like you said, it's possible, but in that division, it's tough. That's a tough division, man. It's tough, and that's what I'm saying. It's just tough in general. Like I said, this division is set up so tough. We haven't seen it in so long that I don't know any quarterback there may be able to do it.
Right.
These games are going to look sloppy. You know how they say when you play somebody good, it like the shit doesn't always look right?
It's not going to look pretty.
Right. That's what this whole division is going to be. So I think it's going to be hard for quarterbacks to have to play in a division where nothing's pretty, get that MVP. Unless somebody just, comes out doing their thing crazy, but that's different. Right. 2, they said David Ojabo will have a monster season. He's a linebacker from that team up north, drafted 45th to the Baltimore Ravens.
From from one hardball to another hardball.
Yeah. First pass rusher developed by the Ravens since Terrell Suggs. So I guess what was you about to say?
You were talking about drafted by the Ravens, you said? Since Terrell Suggs first
developed. That's what that would mean, right? Like you didn't trade for this edge rush. You're drafting him and developing him under
Terrell Suggs.
Right. So I guess my question would be, are they saying that Ravens produce monster pass rushers? Like, is that what they're saying? Is that why they're saying they expect that he has a standout season? I know that was your favorite college team. Did he make enough noise up there for them to just be basing that off of his skill alone?
Well, remember Aiden Hutchinson, I was telling you on I think the last podcast or so that he had said that the team up north is going to be one of the known edge rushers, edge rushing producers in the country. You know what I mean? So David Ojabo, he's nice. Again, so is Aiden Hutchinson. So I don't know. I don't think the Ravens. I mean, right? Ray Lewis was nice. Terrell Suggs,
rush though. He's a middle linebacker.
Right. So I don't know where they're getting.
Though he did roam. I'm sure he rushed a few times, but.
So I don't know where they're getting that from, as far as like acting like they were known to have pass rush.
What's a monster? Well, they didn't say that. That was what I'm asking. They said David Ojabo will have a monster season. But my whole thing is, what's a monster season? What?
Right. Especially for a rookie.
Right. What do you classify as a monster season?
Right.
I think to whoever wrote it, I think that was like a cheat prediction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, first of all, we would have to know what you mean by monster. And then I would kind of need to know why in order to get on board with your prediction. Not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying Ravens haven't been known for pass rushers.
Right. Now, I wouldn't say so. Not unless you're talking about defensive linemen. They've had a few over the years.
Right.
No.
Right. I've seen some some tackles, right. Haven't really seen, Terrell Suggs is the last one I remember really causing some havoc coming off the edge.
Right. I don't know what they're talking about with that, but okay. I get they're trying to say they want to have a modern day Terrell Suggs. That's fine.
I have heard the boy's name before though. But I just don't know enough about him to know. Like, it sounds to me like the kid is good enough for someone to be like, yeah, he's going to kill shit this season. And it sounds like that's essentially what the writer of this article or whoever made these predictions was saying. Like, yeah, he's good. He's going to kill shit this season.
Right.
That's not a bold prediction, G. That's just you predicting he has a good season. Okay, moving on. Fuck that. Aaron Rodgers retires after 2022-2023 season is their prediction.
Really?
Now, he would be walking away from $60 million guaranteed if he played not this year coming up, but the year after as well. So if he does retire after this season, he will be walking away from $60 million guaranteed. He is 38 years old as we speak. He was sacked 30 times out of 16 games in the last 2021-2022 season. I mean, a lot more quarterbacks have been sacked more, but I'm just saying for somebody that's 38 going on 39, does that sound plausible that he could possibly retire after this season?
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's been possible for Brady for like the past 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? But what happens is, Cliff, with a lot of these guys, and just to kind of give a small comparison, I heard that recently Dirk Nowitzki came out and admitted that he's having a tough time with retirement.
All the greats do. All the people that really play the game because they love it. Not the money, but the love of it.
And they've been doing it. You got to think, Cliff, a lot of these guys have been playing since what? Maybe Little League, right? So 4 or 5, and like you said, almost what? Damn near almost 40 years. Some of them, depending on who you are.
I can see you getting institutionalized.
Right.
Like, not like an inmate, of course, but like all I know is going to the locker room with the boys, banging on the field, going home and kicking it.
Right. And that's, Cliff, when your life changes like that, just kind of, Cliff, even like now, like how many people have you met that like retire and they're like, man, they might be like, I'm fucking bored. Like it's hard to stay busy. Or
everybody I know. Well, everybody that I've known in that situation, and even people that I've seen from afar through a television screen, like you can tell which ones are the ones that are like, he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop till something happens to him, because that's how I am. I'm not going to stop till something tells me you can no longer do this.
Right. And that's how I feel about Rodgers, Cliff. Like, you lost the Jeopardy deal. Well, obviously you passed it up type shit.
I'm sure he could get that motherfucker back if he really wanted to, though. How long do they sign them contracts for? I guarantee nowadays that your boy Alex Trebek is gone. They're not giving nobody out more than a 5-year deal. That man could play 3 or play 2, coach 3, and be back to Jeopardy before you know it.
And I think it's a pride thing, right? Like, I don't see Rodgers retiring before Brady, especially with Brady being older. You know what I mean? So
that's interesting.
I don't think Rodgers is going to want to go until Brady goes, at least. Like,
that's a good fucking point.
You know what I mean? Like that, Cliff. That's like, in my eyes, that's like me retiring before you, so to speak. Like,
I know what you mean. I know. No, I'm following.
Like, no, I should be lasting longer. Like, I should be going after you. You should be going before me.
Right.
You gotta come stick it out until you're fucking done. So it kind of puts pressure, because for all we know, Cliff, Rodgers might have wanted to been done after last year. Oh, now he's coming back. Damn it. Well, fucking suit me up then. Shit. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Let me get my highlighter. Hold up.
Yeah, man. I just
because I want to highlight these questions, because I think you just swayed me. I disagree with that now.
What?
That Aaron Rodgers retires after this season.
Yeah, I mean, does it, when you think about it, Cliff, like I said, does that, I mean, obviously it must make sense to you. You said you agree, but yeah, it's like a game. Like, okay, Brady would have retired. Once again, I think it makes it easier to be like, all right, yep, I'm done too. Like, whatever.
Right.
But no, you're still here. Because it's almost like a mind game. Like, no, you didn't beat me. Like, even if you beat me, like, let's say Brady won again. Like, fuck that. Like, I'm not finna retire before. Like, I'm not doing it. That's why, Cliff, honestly, okay, dot connecting moment as well. I'm gonna circle it back. I bet it really pained Drew Brees to have to retire before Brady. You know what I mean? Like, I bet you, like,
I think you're right.
I just think Brees is like, fuck it, I can't. I think Brees just gave up. Like, I think he was like, it's not gonna happen.
Right,
it's just
right.
But I know it really pained him, right? That motherfucker, I didn't get a chance to even outlast him or beat him. Like, damn it, fuck. The Rodgers, Cliff. Now we know Rodgers has a certain swagger or attitude about him that Brees didn't, because Brees is more that laid back,
right?
What
he's family man kind of guy.
Well, remember that you're right. Remember that incident he got into though, right? With Brees, remember that turmoil? Was it 2 seasons ago where he said something? He commented. Remember Michael Thomas and everybody was mad at him. I don't remember what it was. Drew Brees.
No, I don't remember.
But they was on his ass for like a whole month. He had to come out and apologize to his teammates. It was something. But my whole point is, Rodgers is like very. What's that word called when someone's like real? It's not driven. It's not competitive. I don't know how to. how to describe it, but Rodgers is not going for that bullshit. He's not finna let you have the last laugh. He's gonna go after you if all possible. That's gonna be his goal. Unless it's like a season ending or career ending, I'm saying situation. He wants to. I'm sure he wants to outlast Brady.
Yeah, I can't find the word that you're looking for, but I do agree with everything that you just said. Okay, we'll move on. Well, well, first, what did we decide on Russell Wilson winning the MVP?
Remember, we both said we was hopping on the JA train.
Okay, so that's a no too. So
yeah, I liked it at first, but like you made a good point with that division, bro. Most of your season's gonna be your rivals in your division. That's gonna be a tough division, if not the toughest.
And
that's
you're injury prone too.
Injury prone. You're in a new system, mind you, new team, new system. Where someone like a JA, Josh Allen, for everybody out there, just in case clarity. He's already been in that team. They've already been shining. They got weapons. They're doing their thing.
Right.
I
agree.
Okay.
So moving on, number 4, Packers will trade Jordan Love despite Aaron Rodgers' plans to retire next year.
They're not going to trade him. That's their successor. That's why they didn't go out and go get nobody else. In my opinion,
I agree as well, man. I don't think. Why would they? Why would they do that? Like, it's only so long Aaron Rodgers is going to last. Even if you have him positively for the next 2 years, it would not make sense to trade away the guy that's been studying the system since then.
And y'all and that's how y'all operate. Y'all did the same thing with Rodgers and Brett Favre. Remember, we didn't know what was going to happen with Rodgers. I mean, we just knew he's going to be the successor from what it seemed, and he was.
I agree. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me as well.
Like a bunch of bullshit, Cliff.
Okay, so here's one. Now we're getting into some interesting ones, right? Because these are ones that I don't even think that we can really predict, or some maybe, but this one I'm on the fence with this one. This one, number 5, Lamar Jackson will be franchise tagged by this time next year.
Oh, damn it. Franchise. So we don't think he'll get an extension. We think at best he'll get a franchise tag. Is that more so the question?
That's exactly what they're getting at. And a piece of me agrees, right? Because it goes with what I said, that I honestly don't think that we see too much more Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Now, he hasn't been healthy throughout the past couple seasons to really merit receiving an extension, in my opinion.
Right.
So until you prove something, Baltimore is not just going to offer you more money. And at the same time, Lamar, I think, is frustrated with the fact he's getting into that Aaron Rodgers syndrome, where it's like, well, damn, you haven't got me pieces. You traded away Hollywood Brown. You traded away Marquise Brown. What the fuck am I supposed to do now?
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, Cliff, Devontae Adams got traded away to your Las Vegas Raiders, and Rodgers still signed an extension.
Well, see, that's different, though, right? Because that's the quarterback. Wide receivers are accompany pieces. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have a standout wide receiver to win championships. Brady's proved that.
Right.
Wide receivers go wherever a quarterback needs a wide receiver.
Well, I meant the extension situation.
Right. But my whole thing is Lamar is the quarterback. If he leaves, you have to redo your whole team. You have to restructure, unless you're going to put Tyler Huntley back there and say, do everything Lamar did.
But you very well, I mean.
It's possible. You definitely could, and he didn't do a bad job imitating him last year.
He did not. Man, that reminds me, whatever happened to my boy Deshawn Kaiser? I think he was he played for Cleveland. I think he played for Green Bay for a little bit? Or maybe it was a Baltimore. I don't know, but he was like kind of flashes of like the previous version of Huntley is what I'm trying to say.
That name sounds familiar, but I can't see highlights. I can't see.
Yeah, he was a black quarterback. young black quarterback. He was, he was like a kind of like a Huntley to me, like had potential. Just let me see something. Let me look him up.
Yeah, I
Hey
can't
Siri,
follow.
who is Deshawn Kaiser?
Deshawn Allen Kaiser is an American football quarterback who is a free agent. He played college football at Notre Dame and was selected by the Cleveland Browns.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about. What year did he come out?
2017. I believe.
Okay, I was thinking 18. So yeah, that's the dude I'm thinking of. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a free agent. But yeah, I mean, the point being, I think, I don't know. I mean, it was a bad situation in Green Bay with Rodgers. I mean, we heard those stories for weeks of turmoil and just, like, I don't know. It seemed like Rodgers, remember, at one point we thought Rodgers was definitely out of Green Bay. We thought he was not. There was no way.
He was this year. I thought there was no way he came back this year. And that's why you got to lay in the bed you made, for real.
Right.
If you didn't trust them motherfuckers to get you talent before, why are you all of a sudden willing to re-sign to an extension and they traded away the nigga that you needed in the first place?
Well, what it all comes down to, in my opinion, Cliff, is how much does Lamar Jackson trust his coach, Harbaugh? Like how good is their relationship? Because think about it, Cliff, there's situations where you and I have been in, for example, at jobs, right? Where one of us might be like, kind of like a sort of like a contract negotiation situation, let's say, where we're like, man, I don't know, like they ain't talking what I want.
Right.
I might be, but you might have some kind of, reconsiderations or just you might change your mind is what I'm saying. Like you might have something that's like, all right, I'll meet you. We can meet in the middle. Like I can work with you. Like we can figure this out a little bit longer. Or you may decide to say, I'm out, I'm gone. This ain't it. It ain't working.
I mean, but this ain't that though, right? This ain't that. This could very well be, and I'm glad you brought it up. This could very well be Devontae Adams in a nutshell. Oh, you gonna franchise tag me? You gonna franchise tag me after all I did for your organization? I'm out this bitch.
Right.
I'm not playing another down under franchise tag. So
where would he go?
Where would Lamar Jackson go?
Right.
Wherever Lamar Jackson wanted. The Raiders. Watch, because what's going to happen is we going to see this year Derek Carr fucks up again, even with Devontae Adams, and then they looking like, you know what? I don't know if he's the guy we need to go with. Let's see if we can work a trade, a sign and trade, something.
Right.
And then you see movement. Because, and I'm not saying, I'm honestly not saying that I would enjoy having Lamar Jackson too much more, to be honest, because he's too injury prone.
He is, but if he has a good offensive line, would that help him?
He's too injury prone, and the Raiders aren't the best. Well, I don't know now that they got Josh McDaniels, but I was about to say the Raiders aren't the best play callers, and I could see them trying to force Lamar Jackson quarterback options and sweeps and shit until they hurt him themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a good fit because the Raiders are trying to work him to death. But do we agree? Does Lamar possibly get franchise tagged? Well, I guess not possibly. He said he will be franchise tagged by this time next year.
I mean, yeah, Lamar might be trying to buy time. He might be trying to, look at a new potential home. I think all that's possible. Hell, I mean,
so we gonna agree on this one?
Yeah, franchise tag.
I think I might agree too, because he putting out tweets with the WTF at they draft and all that. Like he kind of stirring shit up for himself anyway. Yeah, I can see that. Let's get.
There's a lot of drama going on right now with that situation. Well, not a lot, but some underlying things going on.
Now, this is the one I was prefacing before we started with, right? Because This one I don't know if we can answer. We can do a good job trying to, but I don't know if we can. Deshaun Watson will play less than 8 games this upcoming 2022-2023 season.
He'll play less than 8 games?
Yes. Now, before you throw an answer out, because that's what I was going to do, right? Because under each prediction, there was an article as to why whoever wrote it was making the predictions. And what I gathered from the article is he is, or she, or whoever wrote this, is basically saying that in reference to potential suspensions due to the allegations on Deshaun Watson. But my whole thing is, well, first and foremost, I was going to say my whole thing is, can they suspend him? Because there's nothing criminal took place. Everything's been thrown out of criminal court.
Well, the NFL has to save face, though, Cliff, because if you got people
that's a good point.
They're upset, and it's all business, and they feel like they're getting scrutinized, losing out on money.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because that's what I was going to say. The NFL can do whatever they want at the end of the day. But my first thought was, in a civil case, like, I don't see how you can really suspend somebody over something civil. But that point is what because, like I said, the NFL can do whatever the fuck they want, and that is a number one reason why you would lose a lot of fans if you just let him play.
Right. So you got to, this is actually interesting. So it kind of correlates a little bit. So former teammate DeAndre Hopkins, for those who don't know or may know, he gets suspended 6 games for PED, performance enhancing drugs violation. Says he's not sure what happened. He said that he thought he was doing everything correct, following all the policies, procedures. Don't know what showed up and how it showed up.
But before you continue, for all my shower heads out here, we've referenced this past in so many different episodes. Just because somebody gets popped for PEDs does not mean they were shooting up steroids or anything like that. You can take protein powder that you can buy at your local GNC that will pop a professional athlete for PEDs.
Right.
So I don't want any of the listeners of our shit to immediately think that a motherfucker's lying when they say, I thought I was following protocol. Because you could think you were following protocol. Could you imagine being a professional athlete, training, working out half your day, not having time to go pick up your supplements, so you send your manager to, them not having the brand you usually buy, so he says, this'll do, coming back and you making your shake, not thinking about it, and then getting popped?
But
he's not going to the store himself to get his shit.
I feel like at the same time, to play devil's advocate, you have a list of what you need to avoid for the most part, right? Like, I'm sure they get like a list of like, do not take these things or avoid these things.
How many motherfuckers read the handbook?
You don't got to read it. Especially like you said, if you got a manager.
No. When we're dealing with substances, oh yes, you do, right? Because now you're telling me what substances can and cannot be in my body, and they're very specifically labeled, like allergies. I know what can and cannot be in my body. It's not like it's a guessing game. No, you told me prior to. But my whole thing is, me as a student athlete, or not a student athlete,
right,
but a potential athlete that may have just come out of college, I don't know what half this shit is. I don't know what half these words are. So I'm not going to read it. I might look over it, but I'm going to hand it to somebody.
Right.
And I'm going to say, do me a favor and make sure all that shit that I need for my workouts doesn't contain any of this shit.
Right.
Now, then my question becomes, how many motherfuckers work for him? Right? How many people is he sending out to do for him? And just like I said, they get to the store and they say, "Oh shit, y'all don't got the Hopkins brand." Well, fuck it. Let me see. What's the next one you got? That's gonna have to do. Let's go.
Give me the Arnold Schwarzenegger protein.
Right. Right.
And it's actually buy one, get one half off right now.
And come with a testosterone booster in the fucking powder.
Right. But no, I agree with you, Clip. It doesn't always mean that someone is quote unquote shooting up or that they really were aware of what could have been in their, day-to-day diet. But that's tough, man. It's for the Cardinals. 6 games, Cliff. 6 games without your best wide receiver. I mean, that's bad business.
You know, it wasn't nothing serious though. It's the fact that they only gave him 6 games.
But that's still a quarter of the season, because the season
probably is 33%.
So a third of your season.
Yeah, because it's 17 games.
So more than a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, that's tough regardless. I'm not, but.
Yeah, I only said that, kind of going along with the Deshaun Watson.
He didn't do no PEDs. These are allegations of.
Right.
Requests that he made. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not like he assaulted anyone or anything like that. So that's where it gets shaky for me, because it's like, but what did he really do? Like, you gonna tell him he can't continue throwing a ball, but you can tell Robert Kraft he can continue owning a team?
That's true. That's privilege.
Like, all he did was shoot his shot, really.
Right.
And I don't mean to make it sound so nonchalant, but he asked a question. The question made you feel uncomfortable. But that doesn't make you a predator at that point.
Right.
You asking a question and then, okay.
Right.
That's like going to a massage parlor and saying, "Hey, does this come with happy endings?" No? Okay. All right.
I mean,
but if you're still willing to accept my money and massage me, but you can't then go back and be like, he asked me. Well, I asked you first before you accepted me.
At least I asked.
So I couldn't have made you feel that uncomfortable, right? Because you accepted me first.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's semantics at this point in the way things work currently. But that is not to say that the NFL can't still suspend him. So what are we going to say to Deshaun Watson? 8 games. I disagree, because I feel like even if they suspend him 8 games, he still has 9 to play. You know what I'm saying? It's not a 16-game season anymore, and they're saying less than 8 games. So they're saying basically he plays 7. I don't see that happening. Even if they suspend him, unless they suspended him the entire season, which I don't see happening, half of the season would be 8 or 9.
Right.
And even if they suspended him 9 games, he would still have 8 more games to play, which would negate what they're saying.
Right.
So I don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like,
that's a lot.
Like I said, I see both sides. Like I said, from a business, you can't, like I said, I mean, you've seen it like at the NBA game. What was it, Timberwolves? Somebody tried to do the handcuff thing, trying to protest. You got so many people trying to, speak their free speech, protest and stuff. You usually got to do something.
I'm not trying to extend this conversation. We're at an hour and a half, and we got a couple other topics, but just on the list, and then the fights tonight, which I'll run through quick. But thought popped in my mind.
Okay.
If you were going to issue a suspension, why wouldn't you have issued him one already? because it's not like he's not active. He's just not playing.
Right.
Now, the question then becomes if the suspension is issued, well, if it had a chance to be issued, regardless of if he's playing, could it still hold up now that you allowed him to be traded? You feel what I'm saying? Because he could be like, well, if you was going to suspend me, why wouldn't you have suspended me with the Texans and I'd have sat out like I already was sitting out?
Well, I guess it's kind of no different than like remember Antonio Brown? He signed with Tampa Bay, which had nothing to do with whatever he was getting suspended for. Remember he had to sit out the first couple games or so. Antonio Brown at the first 6 games for his like domestic violence case, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
So, but my whole point was he went to a new team and still had to sit out. Like I agree with what you're saying. Like I think if it happened with this team, you didn't do it with.
Well, that makes perfect sense, right? But it's the timing is what I'm saying.
Right.
The timing of it. Once that took place and they ruled on Antonio Brown, it was over. Antonio Brown had to sit. But my whole thing is there's been no ruling on Deshawn because, well, there it is. I kind of just answered my question. Because there can't be. The most you could be doing at this point is waiting on the results of the civil case to base your suspension off that. So that could be the reason why you could say, why didn't you do it in Texas? But even if he's ruled guilty of a civil case, would not necessarily warrant a suspension either.
Right.
In this case, I would say it would. In this specific one, I would. But you can get hit with a civil case and get ruled guilty and still not necessarily miss games.
Right. That's true.
But I don't know. I still don't think 8 games, he plays less than 8. I'm going with a no. What you going with?
Yeah, I'm going with no. I don't think he'll play less than 8. I don't think that's going to happen.
Browns will eat $12 million of Baker Mayfield's contract.
Really? So what are they going to do with him?
These are predictions. These aren't articles.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the CBS predictions. So they're basically saying Browns will eat $12 million of Baker Mayfield's contract because they have to get rid of him. And nobody's going to take him for the contract he's signed to, so they'll have to eat $12 million of it to get someone to accept it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, so Baker signed to 24 a year. I know you won't accept him for 24, so I'll give you the trade and offer you the $12 million to cut that 24 in half so you don't have to pay it for the year.
Right.
That's basically what they're saying. This one I completely agree with because Baker does have a decent contract for somebody that is trying to get traded off to only a few teams that are available.
Right.
Nobody else needs a quarterback to want Baker Mayfield, so you're going to have to eat that $12 million or keep him on the field or on your team, I mean.
Right. I mean, you got to do something.
So I completely agree with this one. They're either going to have to eat the $12 million or they're going to have to keep him. And they're basically saying, the article was saying, what's the point of having the bad press and chaos of Deshaun Watson and also keeping Baker to have that as well. They're saying like that's detrimental to your team if you have 2 different players that are causing issues outside of the field.
Yeah, but is Deshaun going to, we don't know if he's going to cause issues in Cleveland.
Well, essentially he already is if we don't know if he's going to be able to play starting week 1.
Right.
That's what they're getting at. And then our second string quarterback may not even want to play.
But they knew that when they got Deshaun, right? I think any team that was going to sign Deshaun.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so I just feel like they're not too worried about it. But I
So
could
do
be
you
wrong.
think that they're willing to trade him and eat the $12 million?
I mean, I thought they weren't going to trade him though. I thought they said that, like I said, I thought that they were like denying it, saying we're not trading you.
I mean, that could be the case. I heard that as well, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the Browns will eat the $12 million, or do you think they'll keep Baker?
I think they'll end up eating it because again, you can't have those two guys at quarterback in your quarterback room. Baker's not wanting to be there. Baker's kind of in the same boat as Ben Simmons was leaving the Philadelphia situation. He doesn't want to be there.
Right.
They moved on clearly, or they're wanting to, whatever. It's just
right.
Relationship is over. Relationship
Okay.
is.
I agree with that too. So they got right now they're on 2.
Mm-hmm.
They got CBS got 2 of our agrees out of 7. Now we're on 8. Lions will not be a last place team this year. I agree with this one 1,000%.
Who's last place then?
The article said that they believe it to be the Bears. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't agree. And they did just get rid of Nick Foles, or Nicky Foles, onto his next potential home if he does get one. But no, I don't think it's the Bears. I mean, I think at this rate, I think you can't say nothing but the Lions. I mean, I don't know who else besides the Washington Commanders.
Didn't think about them. Sure. What's Chase Young looking like?
Like a loser on the Washington Commanders, as he should.
Shut the fuck up. Chase Young ain't no goddamn loser. I'm talking injury-wise.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's healthy and stuff, if that's what you mean.
I know he was out the whole last season.
Hey, Siri, is Chase Young recovered?
Chase Young has 23 assists, 47 tackles, and 9
Hey,
sacks.
Siri, is Chase Young still hurt?
Okay, I found this on the web for Is Chase Young Still Hurt? Check it out.
Check it out.
Right. Let me see. So, this is back from January. It says he was making good progress. With it being May, I feel like if that's still the same case, that he's probably going to go ahead and suit up.
Nah, I'm going. I might take a long shot and say the Saints.
Okay. Or actually, you know who I'm gonna go with, Cliff? Potentially, Seattle. Seattle could end up being the worst team.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Yes, Seattle could.
Seattle could be.
Bottom line is, it doesn't matter who the worst team is. Do you think the Lions will be a last place team? And one of the reasons why I say for sure I agree with will not be is because they had an excellent draft this year.
They did.
They had an excellent draft. They got your boy from the team up north, Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
They got Jameson Williams from Alabama, Josh Pascal from Kentucky, edge rush, Kirby Jones from Illinois, safety, James Mitchell from Virginia Tech, tight end, Malcolm Rodriguez, linebacker from Oklahoma, edge rush from Jackson State, James Houston, and Chase Lucas, which is a corner from Arizona State. They definitely stacked up on defense and gave Jared Goff a weapon or two with the tight end and the wide receiver from Alabama.
Right. Also, I was thinking about it, Cliff. I mean, hell, Houston could be the worst team this year. Have the worst record, the Texans.
You're throwing out a lot of good ones. But yeah, I think we're both in agreement, though, that Lions will not be. Well, I don't know. What do you think? They still could be in your mind.
Right. It's definitely possible.
This ain't do fools agree, motherfucker. You don't.
No, I'm just trying to think it through because, like I said, I'm thinking between the Lions and Texans and Commanders teams like that.
They actually got a chance to.
I think the Lions won't have the worst record. I don't think the Lions will have the worst.
They got a chance to even this out. Here's one you might love. Eagles will win the NFC title game.
NFC title games, not the NFC East, the NFC championship game.
Right.
Oh no, of course not. No,
You disagree?
That's blasphemy. That's disrespectful as fuck. You telling me that Jalen Hurts is expected? That's a lot of pressure, right? That's almost disrespectful. You think Jalen Hurts is supposed to be the Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady?
Aaron Rodgers, well, it depends on who they see. I feel like a Jalen Hurts could definitely be the Aaron Rodgers as the Packers stand currently. With the additions the Eagles made as the Packers stand currently, Jalen Hurts beats them.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the comeback potential that Tom Brady does. And Tom Brady overall has the better team. So if they see the Bucks, I say the Bucks take that. But if they see the Packers, I wouldn't be against cash apping somebody to place a bet for me somewhere.
Right.
That the Eagles take that victory. So I don't know. I mean, I do think that's a long shot, right? I think that's a long shot. But I guess that's the first bold prediction that I will say is a bold one.
Yeah, I love my Eagles.
No.
I love my Eagles through and through, but I don't see that being the case just yet. I think NFC.
I don't think I do either.
I think NFC East, yes, definitely a potential shot, of course. But NFC Conference Championship game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's a no for me too. Last one. Very plain and simple. Patriots are in trouble.
Kyle Van Noy went to the Chargers.
I mean, they were basically saying, like in the article, that was due to Mac Jones losing Josh McDaniels and the Patriots not making any moves from last year to improve. I kind of agree with that, right? Like I don't know if Mac Jones, so you know what? I might disagree because I don't know if Mac Jones so much is in trouble as the Patriots are.
Right.
I think the Patriots organizationally are, but I think Mac Jones still has a pretty decent season this year.
Right.
So I don't. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. That was what they said. The Patriots. It wasn't Mac Jones. I'm sorry. I had it in my head as Mac Jones is in trouble. No, they said the Patriots. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. You lost your offensive coordinator, and you haven't made any moves. You haven't picked anybody else up. Everybody around you's approving, and you're in the AFC.
Right.
I agree. I'm going to have to go with the agreement on that.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots definitely... I don't know. Also, Bill Belichick is a mad scientist, so you can't ever really put too much past him.
So you think it's potential that they're not in trouble then?
I don't think they are. I mean, look at the splash they made last season. Belichick always has something up his sleeve. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna get it done. Like he's gonna. That. Yeah. I could be wrong, but like I said, I feel like he's going to get it done for the most part.
So we got, out of this CBS joint, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we, out of 10 that we just did not agree on. Well, no, that we did agree on that would not, that it wasn't going to happen. We got.
So we're half?
Right, we got 3 that we agreed with CBS saying that those bold predictions will or could happen. And then we got 1 that we disagreed. You thought it would, I thought it wouldn't. Or vice versa. I thought it wouldn't, you thought it would. And then 1 we just pushed. That David Ojagba joint has a monster season. That's a weird one. I can't even really... Like, I'm sure he will, right? I'm sure he will, but that's a weird that's a weird thing to put on a bold prediction list. So I'm not giving them that.
Yeah.
So they get 1, 2, 3. 3 agrees and a disagree. We'll give them 4 out of 6. So I think that I think that CBS needs to shut the fuck up. No, I'm just playing.
No, I mean, yeah, some of that stuff was just like crazy. Some of the ones were just like crazy. It's like, really? Like I said, I love my Eagles, but the NFC Championship?
Yeah, that's crazy. But we'll wrap up. We'll not wrap up, but we'll hit at this boxing in the last little bit and wrap up. First and foremost, I want to congrats to Shakur Stevenson. It's crazy though. Everyone was saying what I said before that fight on the last episode, that was gonna be Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez too, and now everybody and their mama is saying the same shit. When y'all need to just like, subscribe, share, and tell a friend to tell a friend. What I will say is congrats to Katie Taylor. She did get the win over Amanda Serrano, but I also, in my opinion, feel like Amanda Serrano was robbed. At the very least, that should have been a draw. There was no way Katie Taylor won that fight. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what the judges, the professionals, that I don't care. She was robbed. That was a robbery. But I want to point out again that I was completely wrong when I was talking about I wanted Katie Taylor to win because she would get Clarissa Shields' neck. They're not in the same weight class. I meant I was getting my white women confused. I was thinking of Savannah Marshall. So I apologize to the boxing community for tossing out that information. That was not the correct information. I meant Savannah Marshall. But congrats to Katie Taylor nonetheless for getting the victory. Even though I'm sure it cost you a little extra your purse for paying the judges. Allegedly. Lastly, tonight is the Canelo Alvarez Dimitri Bivol fight. You can find that on DAZN pay-per-view. Canelo Alvarez is currently 57-1-2 with 39 knockouts, fighting the undefeated Dimitri Bivol out of Russia, who is 19-0 with 11 KOs. Only thing that's interesting I will say about this fight is I have heard reports that Eddie Hearn stated he was concerned because Bivol will be coming in 20 pounds heavier than Canelo Alvarez on the night of the fight, which is this evening. I don't think that really makes a difference given the skill and experience that Canelo has. So if I'm giving my prediction on how this fight ends, I can see it being a unanimous decision for Canelo. If I'm giving you the fireworks prediction, 10th round TKO Canelo Alvarez. But that's if you're looking for like a long shot bet or something like that. Otherwise, I would just go with the clean and easy unanimous decision victory by Canelo Alvarez.
Right.
But I also don't think that Bivol's really been tested in that. Let's go with the 10th round TKO. Because I don't think Bivol's been tested in a way that Canelo's about to test him. But that's really everything for fight night. And I definitely do apologize to all my shower heads that do tune in for the boxing information. I will get together a few new bodies that love talking it with me, and we'll get some action started for you all. But right now, I just feel the need to touch on it as it stands. Mark, do you have any articles or anything that you would like to bring up before we start hitting the showers?
Let's see. Looking, just kind of scrolling through. I had seen some other things earlier, little small things I wanted to touch on. Pete Carroll, according to NFL.com, on Seahawks quarterback situation. I don't see us making a trade for anybody.
What's that mean?
Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll said Thursday that the Seahawks will continue to look for potential adds to the quarterback room, but he doesn't see them making a trade for anybody at all.
They tanking for Sanders.
Man, for somebody. Also, kind of just scrolling here.
What's the boy's name? Deion Sanders' son that plays the quarterback for Jackson State.
Oh,
I don't think he's gonna be a top recruit, but I'm just talking shit. But it's not Deion. Is it Deion? I don't think it's Deion.
Deion Sanders Jr. and there's a Shiloh Sanders and a Shador Sanders.
Is Shador? I think is Shador the one at Jackson State?
Let me see.
I think Shador is the one that I'm thinking of, the quarterback at Jackson State.
I don't know why it's not telling me the name. Yeah, Shador Sanders. Yes,
Yeah.
quarterback.
Mm-hmm. See, I know a little something.
Yeah, him.
That's what I was talking about. But I think he's only a junior next year anyway, and I don't see him having a crazy standout season to be looked at in the NFL draft next year. So that was a joke for all those that might have gotten it. Nah, what else?
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones home and fined following a minor automobile crash on Wednesday in Dallas. Did not sustain serious injuries. God bless Jerry Jones. Chargers signed former Broncos cornerback Bryce Callahan. So AFC, that's still with either way. That was within the AFC West. He just changed teams in the AFC West.
He where did he left from where to go where? Chargers to Broncos?
Reverse it.
Denver to Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
To LA. Okay.
This says Patriots UDFA quarterback De'Aaron King could play receiver, quarterback, running back.
I saw that as well.
Tyrone Matthew or Matu, however you say it, on homecoming to the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
A nice pickup for New Orleans.
Yeah, but I still can see them being low man on the totem pole.
Oh yeah, I'm just mean from the safety position for them. It'll be a good help.
No, they needed it. They needed that pick. I think a few other places needed it more, and I think it's kind of tough for me to say he should have held out because he had been in the free agency for a couple weeks, if I recall correctly. Probably a week and a half, so he was probably done holding out. But I don't know that that's the best position. He already got a ring anyway. I don't feel bad for the nigga. Go with the Saints. Anything else?
What? Stop whining. You have no reason to be whining right now.
You ain't got nothing else.
No, I was laughing at the background.
I know. I'm sure.
Yeah. Other than that, Browns signed former Texas Tech basketball player Marcus Santos Silva to play tight end.
Texas Tech basketball player to play.
Marcus Santos Silva signed by the Cleveland Browns to play tight end.
I mean, but that's not necessarily shocking because a lot of those players were dual athletes in high school and just stopped playing. And I bet that it's still some motherfuckers that still got some juice to play in the league that played in the, well, not the NBA, but college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's not too, I don't know.
Other than that, I don't have anything else besides that Light Mike, his Bills drafted an amazing punter. I'm not sure if you've seen or heard about him.
No, I have not.
They have like a certain nickname for him. I don't remember what they call him, but I've seen some of his footage. I mean, he's good. He can get the ball inside the one, inside the two. Like he's good. But yeah, other than that, I don't got nothing else.
Who's hitting the showers before I piss in it?
Man, okay, so I'm gonna say hit the showers. Ooh. I'm gonna have to give it to Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, talking about they're not really
Right.
too
you
pressed on a
expected to
quarterback.
lose type shit.
Right. So y'all gotta hit the showers for me. Who you got?
I'm gonna give it to. I wish I had a name. I should have done more research and looked at the bottom of the article for the CBS 10 bold predictions. I'm gonna get him to hit the showers. I appreciate you for putting out your bold predictions, but I don't like the predictions that you put out. I feel like you kind of just filled in space. So hit the showers.
Right. CBS hit them.
Listen, anything to take us out.
Like you say, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll be back
Troll,
on Wednesday.
all
Always, troll. Back on Wednesday for the NBA updates on the playoffs. Should be exciting.
Should be exciting indeed.
And
To all my shower heads, we love y'all. Be good or be good at it, motherfuckers. We'll catch y'all next time.
Raiders don't make the playoffs, but that's not news, really.